What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check it out. We got another episode of the Acolyte in the books. Okay, episode 4. This show isn't getting any better. The more we watch, the more we just shake our heads and disgust at what they're doing to the Star Wars franchise with this god-awful show. This show is terrible. And it's not even so much the wokeness, like I was saying on Echo-based network, even like I was saying last night on the Nightcap. It's really just bad writing. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it's just terrible, terrible writing. The characters are written poorly. Every scene plays out just like a giant exposition dump. Like, here we go. We're just going to dump all of this information in your lap. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Have a nice day. Like, that's really what they're doing when it comes to the writing on this show. It's embarrassing at this point. And after 4 episodes, if it wasn't for the fact, again, that I am talking to you guys and you guys want to hear what my thoughts are, I probably wouldn't even be watching it. You know, it's really hard to say that about a Star Wars series. I love this franchise with all my heart. And for this to be going down, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, tomato scores aren't getting any better. In fact, they're getting worse. Still 14% on the audience score, but the tomato meter with the critics keeps dropping. This was at like, I think 84% yesterday. Now it's down to 83. Slowly but surely, this thing is starting to get wrecked by everybody, okay? I think this critic score is going to probably end up somewhere in the 70s. Remember, this thing started out in the mid-90s when the first 2 episodes dropped. Everybody was, oh my God, this is the greatest thing, all of these shill critics. But even some of these shills are coming to terms with this thing. They are seeing what the fans saw from the get-go, that no, this series is garbage and we're not rocking with it. But yeah, I think this 14% is probably going to be in single digits before all is said and done. I don't know if it'll be there by episode 5. It could be. You know, we got about 6 days until episode 5 drops. This thing could easily get down to 9, or it could be at 10 or something close. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this episode. It's called Day. I'm not sure why they called it Day, but let's just walk through it. I'm not going to play any of these. I'm just going to go scene by scene. So we start off with this Wookiee Jedi, Kel Naka. He's out in some hut somewhere. He's cooking something up in this pot right here. I'm not sure exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Along the way, they show us little spiral emblems, you know, that are similar to the spirals that are on the witches' foreheads. You remember from the last episode? Let me see if I can find that. Like, they show all of these little spiral emblems. We're, I guess, supposed to guess as to what this means. But again, because we have no context of what it is he's doing, why he's drawing all of this stuff out there. Again, it's just setting up this mystery that we're supposed to be excited about. But again, we don't care about any of the characters. So we don't really care about what the mystery is behind anything that's happening. Until we care about the characters, we don't care about this mystery. And that's something that Leslie Headland hasn't figured out. How do you make somebody care about a character that isn't LGBTQ? You know, how do I associate any feelings, any emotions? What am I supposed to be getting out of this? That's really what it comes down to. And I don't think Leslie Headland knows how to write characters in the Star Wars universe that we, the average Star Wars fan, will care about. The only thing she knows how to do is write the kind of characters that she would care about. But her narrow view of the world, it's what's messing this story up. And that's really what it is. This could have been an interesting story. I'm going to say it right off the rip. It could have been an interesting story, but you got the wrong writers writing it. So then we move to a Jedi Academy lesson or something. And, you know, you got the Jackie Lon character front and center learning from, I guess, the only other white guy, you know, the guy that's not suicidal and trying to off himself. You got that in here. After the lesson is over, she starts talking to May. And this is one of many, many, many giant exposition dumps in this show. You know, they're making little batty eyes at each other. You know, they clearly are supposed to be in love with each other. Whatever, I don't care. Okay, or maybe they're starting to develop feelings. Doesn't matter. I don't care about these characters, and therefore I don't care about their love interests whatsoever. All right, that might be interesting to some other people. It's not interesting to the average Star Wars just fan. You know, somebody that isn't in the LGBTQ community wouldn't care about this. Again, another giant exposition dump. Took them like 2 minutes to say what could have been said in 10 seconds. Hey, you know what? Thanks for helping me find my sister, you know, and I'll hook up with you later on. Peace. Like, that's all they had to do. But it's just back and forth, and there's no character development. There's nothing interesting happening. You know, I'm not starting to enjoy these characters. Nothing happens in this giant wall of text that we had to listen to, because that's all it is. It's just a wall of text and camera show, like the most boring shots you can imagine. over the shoulder here, and then like her shots are all over the shoulder, you know, like this is literally it, you know. And she's making little shy faces. I mean, it's just the most boring crap you've ever heard of, man. Yeah, so then we get to this scene here where May and Kamir land on the planet, you know, coming to get Kelnaka. He mentions that, yeah, remember, you made a deal with the dark side, guys, so you got to go through with it. You know, finding your sister means nothing at all. Realizing she's alive means nothing, you know. We're kind of getting the impression that this dude here, he's more or less just a fall guy. He's acting clumsy. He's acting stupid. We're supposed to believe that he might be the dark side guy. He's obviously a red herring, okay? You have red herrings in mysteries, all right? This little character is supposed to be a distraction from the real villain, or, you know, oh yeah, we're just setting this stuff. We have red herring characters in mysteries. It's a trope, all right? But this one's so obvious that nobody's going to buy it, so everybody's going to be like, yeah, that's not him. But yeah, again, we're getting some information about that. We get the impression he's not the guy. We're also hearing like maybe his life is on the line with all of this stuff as well. If I cared about any of these characters, all right, this would be far more compelling. But because they can't just do the basic thing of make me care about either one of these guys, all right? They can make me care about Kamir, you know? They can have him be, you know, whimsical, funny, humorous, you know? That all of that comes into the writing. But both of these characters are just wooden blocks. And once again, it's just a wall of exposition text. We're just reading it and moving on. Yeah, then we get to this scene, right? Okay. Ki Adi Mundi in the flesh at the little lower Jedi Council meeting or whatever. All right. He ain't supposed to be here. So what's going on, Leslie Headland? Would have taken you 5 seconds on a Wikipedia search to look up this guy, his history, and know, oh, he's probably not alive. You know, this will be one small little thing for Star Wars fans to nitpick at me and everything. You know, let's just clear that up and not put him in the show. No, because Leslie Headland loves all the Star Wars, okay? That's her statement. I love all the Star Wars. She loves it so much, she just starts changing lore and canon right before your eyes. Just utter trash. Anyway, they have this little lower council meeting, and, you know, they're basically saying, yeah, you know, we need to go after them. You know, they come to the conclusion that we need to figure out who the dark side guy is that's training her. Is it a splinter, cell of the Jedi? Is that what's happening here? What's going on? They got to get to the bottom of it. And we got Master Soul and Vanestra, the green chick, all right? Worst actress in the entire show by a mile, all right? The little kids were better than her. This chick cannot act. But anyway, they're having this little back and forth. You know, well, why did we go to, why did you tell me earlier what was happening? You know, you should have told me this, and this. It's just like how they're saying, well, we should probably go to the High Council, which I guess is the quote-unquote Jedi Council where Yoda would be. But apparently that's how we explain that all of these people knew nothing about the Sith because they didn't go to the High Council and tell them, you know, again, just trash, garbage writing, you know, just so they can cover their tracks. So this is why nobody knew, because they never told the High Council. And so just like they didn't tell the High Council, he didn't tell you about May and Osha and all of what was going on. He didn't tell you, you know. But just the characters are so badly written, man. I hate this, man. I hate this so much. Again, another boring scene. Nothing has happened yet, all right? Nothing of interest has happened yet. It's just people talking to each other, walking and talking, standing in hallways and talking, all right? No action, no nothing. Just boring, all right? Just a whole lot of boring. And, you know, again, we're only about maybe like 10 minutes into this thing, and I'm like, geez, man. How boring can you guys get? These are unforced errors right now. You could have did anything with this scene to make it more interesting. You could have, I mean, they're just walking. You could have had them like, man, this guy is hard to find. We got to climb some trees. We got to swing over this giant lake. We got to do all kinds of stuff. We got to battle off creatures. You could have had these guys do anything but walk and talk. And I'm like, serious, man, I was doing the echo-based thing, man. I was falling asleep on this. But this whole scene is about, well, what deal did you make with him? Well, I made a deal. It seems like you have a deal, too. What deal did you have? And that's it. What deal did you make with the dark side guy? Like, what is this? Why are we doing this? What is the point of this? Because none of this stuff feels like it's interesting, feels like it's important. It all feels like, again, it's just setting this guy up to be a red herring. He's acting all creepy and weird and everything. It's just boring shit. Then, you know, Soul basically, you know, says, hey, Osha, you need to come with us, in order to save May's life. She dropped this line like basically, well, she's a murderer. You know, after he tries to get her to come along, she says, yeah, she's a murderer. And I was like, oh, damn. somebody with some sense. Yeah, I'm not going to help her. I don't care if that is my sister. She murdered 2 Jedi. I don't want y'all thinking that I'm in cahoots with her whatsoever. Nope. Y'all go on your own. Good luck. Something like that. That's not what happened. Oh, if you don't come, then I'm not going to be able to bring her in. I think at this point, we're starting to see his acting coming out, because it's clear that he knows what's going on. He knows all of the information. He knows what it's all about. He might even know who the dark side Jedi or whatever dark side user is. It seems like Soul knows. Starting with this scene, I'm like, this guy's starting to figure it out. He knows what's going on. But Leslie Headland, because she's a terrible writer, she's not going to have him drop any hints that make us think that. He's just going to have these weird conversations, stare like, oh my goodness, I know what's happening. Feelings, all that kind of stuff, instead of absolutely just giving us some real information that we can chew on, Him finding something in the archives, showing it to Vernestra Rowe, and then Vernestra's like, hey, man, is this Jedi who I think it is? Oh, no, give me that back. No, something, anything. Instead of, again, wall of text exposition, boring the audience to death. Yeah, and then we got the scene where May's little toy droid sprays this gopher-looking guy who's the tracker that's going to help him find Kelnaka, sprays him with water. I guess this is supposed to be humorous. But he is the pronouns character, all right? The he or they, what is he? He or they, it's stupid. That's forced, all right? They forced that in there because they wanted to put he, they. They wanted to do that so badly, all right? And I could just see all of the woke tards, oh, that was awesome, woohoo! Pronouns, baby, pronouns! I'm like, what the hell is this? You guys can't write better than this crap. This is trash, man. This is straight up trash. So they land on the planet. Again, just more expedition. This is just an exposition dump the show. Nothing's happening. They're just walking. They're following the tracker. He's moving ahead. They stop to have some kind of conversation. Now, if May doesn't go along willingly, you're going to need to take him out, Yord. You're going to need to take him out. And he's like, Osha, I've loved you since I was a little baby. Nah, he didn't really say that shit, but he looked like he wanted to say it, and all of this other kind of stuff. So we might have some little romantic triangle going on between these 2 idiots and the, whatchamacallit, Jackie Lan character. Does anybody care? Nobody cares. I don't care. You don't care. The characters and the actors probably don't care. They're just here to get paid, all right? We're here to get paid. We're halfway through this episode, by the way, and not a goddamn thing has happened. Finally, we get a little lightsaber action. Soul pulls out the lightsaber to cut this little bug in half. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That was the only lightsaber action we really got in this episode. And, it was kind of... what they should have had is all of these little pods, which are basically these giant roly-polies uncurling off of these trees. All of these things should have came to life, and all the Jedi should have had to fight them off. At least we would have got something exciting happening, okay? Instead of him just cutting one in half and be like, all right, everybody, let's keep moving, all right? We walking too slow. We're getting caught up in this crazy world. Let's keep it pushing. That's basically all that happened. Again, man, there's so many things they could have did to make this episode remotely interesting. They did none of them. So later on, we got about maybe 5 minutes left in the show. This moron, Kamir, he ends up getting trapped in this snare and hung upside down. May comes over and says, I'm just going to turn myself into the Jedi. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on with this show? I'm just going to turn myself in. My sister's alive. I don't need revenge anymore. I'm good. I'm just going to, turn myself in because I don't have that revenge in my heart no more. Okay. Wait a minute. I thought you was trying to be a witch. And what about all of them other witches that got murdered and killed according to y'all? Whatever happened, they got killed because of the Jedi. You don't want to get revenge, on behalf of your mothers and all your other peoples and everything. Sister's alive. We good? Is that it? That's all? The only thing that mattered? Does this make any sense to anybody right now? No, it doesn't. Again, and the reason is because we feel nothing for these characters. We can't understand what these characters' motivations are. We don't care why they feel the way they feel, and we don't understand. It's not being explained to us. We are not getting anything whatsoever when it comes to these characters. They needed to take an episode and just really make us care about the characters. And they could have did it in the first one, but they didn't. That's when they started to do the whole whirlwind. We're trying to do this, that, and they were killing the Jedi, and the mystery is unfolding. They needed to take one episode and make us give a damn about everything that's happening here. They just don't have the ability to do it. So this is one of those moments. Remember, I was telling you, we get into these moments where this guy is starting to like get premonitions, or he's starting to get these feelings, and he has this look on his face like he's figuring everything out. Okay, and he knows what's happening. He stops right here. He kind of turns to Osha and he tells her, "Hey, look, you know, if everything goes bad, we just got to get May on the ship, and I'll tell you everything." So it's clear that Soul, he knows what's happening. He knows what's going down, and he's kind of dropping that information there. Again, could have been interesting, but they set it up all poorly, and they haven't given us any reason to care. All right. So anyway, May comes up on Kelnaka's hut. The tracker's already there, which I actually thought that was kind of hilarious. He's already there. He screams when he sees May, and then all the Jedi come running. But when May goes in, of course, Kelnaka's already dead. He's got a lightsaber slash across his chest, still simmering and smoking. All right. And you're like, oh, shoot, lightsabers can finally kill some people, I guess. Hey, good job. Right. So, yeah, the lightsaber, fight that we should have saw, we didn't see. Again, another interesting thing you could have done, instead of just showing this guy's lifeless body in his chair dead from a lightsaber slash, what you could have shown is the actual fight. Even if you didn't want to show the villain, you could have shown it from the villain's point of view, and that would have given the fans something interesting to watch. Instead of just seeing this shit, you know? They could have just had that up, boom, 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 boom. He's fighting, he's this, he's that. And then, oh, shoot, it goes to black. We don't know who won, who lost, okay? Did this guy die? Did the other guy die? What's happening? You know, you could have left that for a little bit of a mystery in this particular episode. They didn't do it. Again, they don't know how to write. They don't know how to tell a story that's remotely interesting, that keeps the audience on their feet, on their toes, on the edge of their seat. They don't know how to do it. And that's why the Acolyte is 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. So anyway, we keep pushing along. They all stop outside the hut instead of just walking in, because I guess they say, hey, somebody's in there. They're kind of, feeling that. So Yord says, stop in the name of the law. Come out with your hands up, or whatever he says. It's like literally the cops, okay? Literally the cops. I mean, there's like 7 of you guys. Why don't y'all just go, hey, man, we coming in, get your lightsabers out, get them ready, get your force powers ready, because we're going to go in here and take out whoever is in here. Just go on inside. That's it. Yeah, we just don't want to walk in. Hey, look, you got a dangerous killer out there. You think that Kelnaka's already been murdered? So go on in there and take this person. Somebody might get an arm chopped off. It's just the way it goes. All right. I would have preferred these guys storm into the hut. That would have been interesting. Nope. So inside this hut, everything all of a sudden goes dark for no reason at all, even though there's still candles and stuff going in the back. But everything the light kind of dimmed. All right. That was some sort of a producer's choice, director, whoever. They decided to try to make this more of an eerie scene. And then May is sensing, she's sensing something. You could tell by the look on her face. All right. Same thing kind of like with Soul. You could tell by the look on his face. Hey, I'm sensing something. And then right here, this guy just I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, this guy comes sliding down like he's on a wire or something, all right? And then everybody suddenly turns around. Saul turns around. All the other Jedis turn around. And then they just, basically, she looks at him like, oh, who are you? It's like, and it's almost like she knows who it is, So this is clearly somebody from their past. Maybe it gets revealed in episode 5. Maybe episode 5 is the flashback episode that everybody's kind of expecting from May's point of view. So they won't actually get to this stuff. It's just, terrible, terrible nonsense, and then everybody, whips out their lightsabers. He whips out his lightsaber, and then as they're charging in, he uses the force and just blasts everybody backwards. And then that's it. That's the episode. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. This is a terrible, terrible show. Once again, the problem really isn't so much the story, because the story could be helped if we cared about these characters and if they did things within the story that made it exciting. You don't want to just have exposition dumps, okay, where you're just telling people information, all right? A wall of text is what I call it. You're just reading text. You want to give us some break it up a little bit, Show us some action. Show them doing something. All right. Instead of just walking through a forest, man, we got to climb trees. We got to, we got to dodge monsters and everything while we're trying to give exposition or something like that. That could be interesting, Holy crap, we got to get these bugs off of us, man. What were you saying about the master? Hey, look, we going to be all right. We just got to get to where we going. But look, what was the deal you made with him? I need to know right now. And whatever, man. Like, give us something, you know, give us some excitement, you know, instead of just like two people in a scene, talk. Okay. Like I said, these are all unforced errors, and it's the product of, you know, DEI. You know, you didn't earn it, okay? You didn't earn your right to tell stories in this franchise, in this giant franchise. You just didn't earn it. You came in with your LGBTQ credentials, okay? You came in with your gender credentials, and you're hired. Well, can you do the job? Can you perform? No, but I'm LGBTQ and a woman. And there we are. And so the show is failing at the writing stage before we get to anything else. It's failing at the fundamentals of just telling us an interesting story, keeping the audience from being bored. It's the biggest sin that you can commit in any time when you're in any sort of entertainment, is to not be entertaining. All right. You know, and then this whole little, I guess, Kamir, you know, it's obvious it's a murder mystery. He's not the guy, you know, that much is obvious at this point. So I don't know what to expect with episode 5. I'm just kind of tired of watching this already. But we'll power through it. All right. We got 4 more episodes left of this trash, and then we'll probably jump over there with Film Threat and do this funeral of this entire franchise, because that's what they're doing with it, folks. That's what they're doing. We got to do the obligatory refresh, of course. See if it's dropped anymore. Nope, everything is still the same. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about episode 4 of The Acolyte. Again, just one gigantic bore fest, snooze fest. All right, that's basically what we got going on right here. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.